Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome back to Runers. Actually, I need to go backwards for a second. Okay, good, we're not doing a random adventure. I'm a little bit scared about that, because you know what? I probably could do it well in the future. However, for now, not so much so. So we're going to be an elven bard, pretty much about as vanilla as you can get, because I'd like to get far with this run. And, well, I mean, admittedly, going elf did not actually work out that well for us last run. But at the same time, I have semi-high hopes for this one. I'm not entirely sure. The thing is, I'm even more tired than last time, so we'll see if if I come out the other end of stupid and come out somewhere along the lines of savant, or savant. I guess is the proper pronunciation? I don't know, English gets weird. Silly Brits and coming up with weird words that are hard to pronounce in American, damn it. Freaking, in America, everything should make sense. No, that doesn't make a lot of sense. I realize that. Anyway, we get a light rune. We're not on random mode. I actually really enjoyed random mode. It did eliminate a lot of the... I don't know. It eliminated a lot of the thinking, which is honestly kind of a bad thing. I'd prefer to keep, you know, a fair amount of my, you know, my build kind of in mind as I go along, but it did make things interesting. And honestly, I'm really disappointed in my performance yesterday, but there's such a thing as just moving on, accepting things, and the fact that, you know, I really can't re-record anything in life. Because for the amount of videos that I put out, there's pretty much no stopping this train. There are no brakes on this train. And honestly, I'm pretty okay with that. It, you know, does mean that I have to have some level of surety of my commentary and my gameplay. And yesterday, well, I guess sometimes it's just worth making a fool of yourself. So, if it wasn't immediately obvious, we were playing on regular difficulty, unless I screwed that up, and then we're accidentally playing on Wimpy. I think we're playing on regular, though. I was paying attention. I'm surprised that the floating brains just now start messing with my... Wait, maybe it has. I guess the thing is I've been using Chaos Bolt, so... Well, it doesn't really matter that much. But, anyway, yeah, I don't know. It's just, whenever I'm recording, I pretty much have to make sure I'm at the top of my game, or at least, you know... passable quality. Oh, that's an awful way to say anything. No, I'm just generally crossing my fingers that I am, you know, more than good enough to create good content for you guys to watch, so I don't have to re-record anything, because re-recording anything more or less means I have less videos than normal to give to you guys, and I would like to give... As far as YouTube strategies... Ow, I keep getting hit by these fireballs and they hurt. Like, I knock it as far as one of the basic spells go. Oh, at the very least we took out the rat, okay, yeah. We took care of the rat nest, which is the important thing along here. Problem is, I'm a little bit scared. We've got light, fire. Oh, I stopped paying attention. We do have a water, air. We might actually be able to make an interesting spell already. Some kind of triple at the very least. Which is probably going to be useful. And it's better than just tallying here, so... Or tarrying here. Let's go with Discovered, and get our mouse in here. Creatable spells, so we can make Aqua Devils. Not very good. Firebrand. Nope. Well, could go with Flame Devil. Flame Devil's not bad, but I think I'm going to hold out. I would actually really enjoy getting Scarlet Salvo, especially with Chaos Bolt as another frontliner type spell. Oh. Another thing that would be really nice is if I can get another air rune. And I believe it's a Mind Rune. Because Steam Blast. I keep saying I want Steam Blast, and I keep not getting it. But if I can get singular Steam Blast, as well as Scarlet Salvo, that would actually be a really solid, more or less pair of auto attack type spells. And as far as I can tell, they don't. Scarlet Salvo might share air runes, come to think of it. But apart from that, they'd actually be a pretty decent mix. So that's definitely a consideration. I gotta watch out. Yeah, don't want to get close to the mages, but they were matching my speed. It's kind of hard to do the... Kind of hard to dodge around them when they're doing stuff like that. And I want to keep... Well, I have to automatically keep close to them, which is unfortunate. Oh, hey. I think I can do Lights Nova. Wait, no, I need Shock for Lights Nova. Wow, they died at near the exact same time. So, first and foremost, should be kind of obvious. We are running a little bit low on health, and I will admit, I do have a fair amount of hearts that I should probably pick up at this point. So let's go into the previous room. think there's going to be anything else in here. Might as well bust these things up first. Hate to waste whatever we got. So, we've got some interesting runes. Could make some interesting combos. Might as well do it, seeing as we're here. Because if I can get at least 1 or 2 triples right off the bat, that's going to put us in a really solid position. So what do we got? Scroll down. So we got Supernova. Not bad. Reactive Pillar it's an interesting one. It shoots part of a bullet's essence back in the direction it came from, so it's essentially the same as that, the effect that the towers put off. The problem is it's a bit low on or it's a long cooldown spell, which is kind of a problem. We can also do Cosmic Star, which is actually really solid. Harding's Radiance, but it seems a little bit early for that one. Glacial Wall, Tranquil Twigs is a tempting spell, but that's a spell I want to use on a Devil run, because it would fit perfectly. So I think what we're going to go with is... Honestly, none of these are particularly encouraging. I'm almost tempted to just go with Particle Spray, purely because Particle Spray is very good at clearing large groups of enemies, but no, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to use the Water Rune, because we're not going to need it for anything. We're just going to go have Droplet in the mix, and keep going until we can find that extra Air Rune, because if I can find that, we're in a good spot. Okay, now we got Droplet, now we've got AoE, so between the two of them, we should be able to clear large groups of enemies without as much trouble, and we should do a fair amount of damage. Uh-oh. Accidentally turned off Droplet, and I was just listening for the sound effect to make sure it was casting, but the problem is, Water Mages cast Droplet. Surprise! Okay, gotta stay largely away from the skeletons. They can and will hurt me in such a way that I don't appreciate. Ow. I hate how they pop up right as you're coming to smush them. I like smushing skeletons. I'm not actually sure what the logic is of why you have to step on the skeletons. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But I guess it works. So first and foremost, as far as things go, easiest differences I can tell in terms of like which, well, like wimpy mode versus regular difficulty mode. Essentially, as far as I can tell, the enemy stats have just been increased by a semi-flat percentage. It looks like they don't do more, well, they might do more damage. They have slightly better accuracy. Either that or my dodging is bad because I'm tired. Both are entirely possible. Either way. Oh, this is... Oh god, this is like the shittiest option available. So we could go with Doctor to increase health pack healing by 3. We can go with Grisly Intellect to reduce our cooldown reduction by 10%. Or we can go with Scavenger to give us 10% more runes. I'm gonna go with Doctor, just because between the two, between all three of them, Doctor and the increased rune drop chance have the highest possibility. Oh, balls. Yeah. Between all of them, Doctor has the highest possibility of making sure this run will go as far as I want it to go. So, I wanted to go Steam Blast. Let's get out of here. Or Pressure Blast. And the reality of the situation is I would rather get Mindlessness than Pressure Blast, I think. A bit of a hard decision there, and honestly, I tried to make it fairly snappily, but I figured no matter what we get, Mindlessness is always going to be an amazing spell. And on top of the fact that we are already playing as an elf, that's going to essentially make it... Oh, probably could have taken out the Hermit first and foremost. Oh well. Don't think I even got hit by the rats. Might have gotten hit once. But, you know, when it comes down to it, Doctor is simply going to prolong the run in ways that all the other ones can't. I guess Grisly Intellect, the power boost from the other two could help, but honestly, I think just being full health is the most important thing in this game. I've learned some amount of my lesson from the last time we played. Okay, let's go after the Wisp Hunter first and foremost. I want to... took out the Wisp that I was going for. Come on, Wisp. Come on. I hate it how they loop around me. I'm trying to... Oh, God, I used my class ability. Okay, well, let's just use it against him, I guess. Come on. He's got one more, and I'm trying to murder it. No, shit, there's one more. Okay, there we go. That was annoying. We do not have the And we do not have adequate spells for taking him on. So we're going to go with bullet speed. It's just going to make our particles fly faster. I'm hoping that's going to help mostly with something like Scarlet Salvo, if and when we get it. Bullet speed isn't honestly that great, and maybe I should have actually gone for like a fire rune or something, but it's a little bit too late for making decisions like that. So, because we're running Mindlessness and Elf, I actually have Chaos Bolt almost completely straight shooting, which is kind of amusing. It's very rare that it's as accurate as this, which actually really helps considering how fast it shoots, and the fact that it has probably a very... well, it has one of the higher base damages of all of the level 1 spells, which is convenient. Okay, so precise movements. Crits make you move faster. Mental mastery. Mental mastery. Elementalism or Ghost Walk. I think I'm going to go with Elementalism. This way we're going to be able to cast Mindlessness more often. Plus the other ones were kind of worthless. So, because we're not running a crit build, and we're not running a... or I have serious doubts that we're ever going to be able to max out our entropy or mind runes in this run. Looks like we also have at least one level or one room left and 4 hearts. So we're going to be leaving this floor full health. I find it hilarious that usually when I'm playing on a Wimpy, I just kind of like lull mode my way through, you know, the first couple of rooms just being like, everything's easy. But then I get on regular difficulty after having particularly sorted set of runs, and it's like, well, time for Wanderbot to actually play seriously. Weird. I'm gonna try and take out that power shrine. Nope, nope, nope. Keep my distance. Don't want to get hit by light mages. I mean, realistically, light mages, not actually that big of a problem, but might as well take them out. Yeah, okay, so that cooldown reduction, actually pretty useful. Potentially incredibly useful. There we go. Supernova. So, I'm going to put a light rune into it. I have not used Supernova in quite a while, but considering we're using Mindlessness, Elven, and we already have some level of innate cooldown reduction, it seems like a very sensible thing to do. Because this way, especially if I kill a bunch of mages or elementals in one go, we might actually be able to take off half of the stuff right off the bat. Okay, so shock levels, air rune. Let's see. I'm leery about just going with an air rune. At the same time, if I get another mind rune, that lets me get... yeah, I'm actually going to go with the air rune. It seems like the dumbest of all of the choices, but currently it doesn't seem like our build is going to have much of a dependence on shock in the slightest. It might, but it's unlikely. And this way, if we can get Pressure Blast, I'll replace Droplet with it, because, I mean, that's probably the obvious way to go, considering they have largely similar effects, just Droplet is, you know, the explode on impact does not strike through enemies thing. Whereas, okay, so, we do have Supernova. That was probably the absolute best way I could have used it. Should have used... ow. Should have used Mindlessness beforehand, but it doesn't matter that much, and between all of those, we pretty much knocked off at least a couple seconds from Supernova. Didn't get any actual hearts, though. Oh, hello. Oh, this is a great time for class-based abilities, and probably could have used Mindlessness for this situation. Oh well. Or not Mindlessness, Supernova. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. Karma Camellia, there we go. And there's the Mind Rune that we needed. And we get some health. So, all in all, that actually worked out pretty well. I'm really happy with the cooldown reduction type build. I wonder where I got that from. Okay, well, let's see. Air, mind, air. I think that's Pressure Blast. I hope it's Pressure Blast. Yeah! Okay. Goodbye, Droplet. So, Pressure Blast is really solid. You can really churn down the cooldown, and you can boost up both the AoE and the damage. So it's a very good spell that scales with level, and Mindlessness is going to make that easier. And Runedex. What else can I create? Because if I can make another really solid triple combo spell, I could do double lightning, and it's tempting. Jinxie's Mastery is interesting, but I think I'm going to... I don't know. It's hard to tell. Interestingly enough, Jinxie's Mastery increased chance to shoot a single that matches your highest rune levels. If you keep everything medium, you'll just be shooting them all out at random. It's tempting. It is really tempting. I want to use that spell someday, but I'm not sure if I want to use it today. Though you could also use and abuse that pretty hard if you could really boost out your maximum rune level on one spell, so you're just hitting enemies with really high... Oh. It doesn't specifically say matches the element, it just matches the rune level. I don't know. That's an interesting question. But unless we go with double lightning, which is tempting, then currently I don't have any good combinations to make. But considering Pressure Blast is, well, it's extremely powerful and technically has unlimited range, comparatively, I would prefer something closer to Scarlet Salvo. I do wish my... Ow. I do wish my, Supernova had been off cooldown. Oh, crap. There we go. Got him. That was close. And let's take that out. So, first and foremost, we get an air rune. So, I'm kind of regretting the not just unilaterally increasing air levels, but at the same time, probably doesn't matter that much. Only problem I have with Pressure Blast, it does have kind of an obnoxious noise. Okay, so I will admit, I am having some amount of second thoughts about... I'm having some amount of second thoughts about Scarlet Salvo as a extra spell. In retrospect, there are probably better ones that I can pick up. I'm going to grab one of these. Yeah, Doctor's probably going to help. That said, probably not going to matter too much. I'm just going to rely on... Wait. Aha! Suck it, bats! I'm trying to rely on Scarlet Salvo for... Oh, wait, no. Okay, good. Rely on the Bard stunning ability and the explosions from Pressure Blast to take out all the bats. Unfortunately, you have to put a little bit of distance between yourself and them. So on one hand, I can totally see a Pressure Blast build being really good with a long-range accompaniment. Stasis reduces our rune levels. So what we're going to do is preemptively increase them, and then Supernova. Wow, that did far less damage than I was hoping it would. This is actually semi-substantial. Luckily, we're getting more air runes, so if I can get our air rune level really high on Pressure Blast, we're going to be able to have really high AoE by the time it hits the enemies, when it explodes at the end, and we're going to have very, very substantial damage too, which is great. Fortunately, for the time being, well, our rune levels are reduced, and it does make us suck a little bit. Interestingly enough, I think debuffs are more effective in regular difficulty, which is honestly not that big of a deal. Just gotta make sure that that kind of thing happens. Okay, so I'm gonna go with defense. We're on a higher difficulty. Next up, more Doctor. Essentially, it's going to make it so we almost never need to actually pick up health packs, or at least we might need to pick them up, but one of them is going to be good enough, which is very encouraging. Wow, that AoE is substantial. We get a light rune, so pop the light rune into Supernova. Pop the earth rune into Supernova. Pop the fire rune into Supernova. Wish I could reduce the cooldown. Honestly, if I could... Whoa, they boosted the cooldown on that one. Well, whatever. We get a lot of air runes, so honestly, if we get this up to one more rune level, then I actually won't want to put any more in, because this thing maxes out at 10. And Mindlessness gives all runes plus 4. So note to self, don't increase any more. We still need Scarlet Salvo. And considering I just gave up my Fire Rune, I might actually have to think of an alternate spell. Now there's Power Shock, but since we're not running a specific cooldown reduction build, going that direction might not be a good idea. I think it's called Power Shock. It's Shrine to Destiny. We all know that this guy's a jerkwitch. Okay. Let's just keep it a distance. Looks like he debuffed me somehow to the point where... What? Oh, I see. Oh, geez. That actually makes Mindlessness kind of double-edged sword. So what we actually need to do for Pressure Blast is really boost it up. Oh, I was not thinking about that. Oh, well, it's not the end of the world. Honestly, it gives all my other stuff a huge buff, especially Supernova, and the duration isn't that long. But if it seems like Pressure Blast starts shooting slower whenever I pop Mindlessness, that's because its cooldown is based on Mindlessness, and apparently has quite the effect. I think it even halves the pace at which we shoot, which is unfortunate, but ultimately not a big deal. Let's just explode them, and we've got more than enough healing, so I'm not terribly concerned along the lines, at least as far as this level. Oh, really? Well, this is just nonsense. Okay, level 3 doctor. What are we? I'm a doctor, not a something. I don't know. I do not watch enough Star Trek. Okay, so probably didn't need to pick up that heart, but at the same time, we've got one more room all the way over to the right, and being topped off is always appreciated, especially when you have so many other hearts just sitting around waiting for us. So, what do we need to do? Luckily, because we're an elf, mindlessness ends up being not too much of a detractor on, oh, interesting. Pressure blast doesn't actually do strike through damage. It just explodes at the distance, and you can get it to explode sooner. Well, at the same time, it is actually convenient to have it shooting slower, because that doesn't make, well, that makes it so it doesn't, so it explodes farther out. So if I need to shoot long range, well, popping mindless is not actually a bad idea, and it buffs up the damage substantially, as well as the AoE. So we are full health, and we're going on to level 3. Thus far, so good. It's been a while since I've played on regular difficulty, and, well, I'm feeling kind of encouraged. Mind Rune, Double Combiner, Light Rune. Mind Rune, I guess. Okay, we'll just pop that into Pressure Blast, because honestly, if I can get that to have a really high mind level, then using Mindlessness is not going to have much of an effect on it. Wow, Mind Runes really don't have much of an effect on it. Okay, next up, we do have a triple combiner, so what I'm going to do is, seeing as we don't have a use for shock or entropy, what happens when it's shock, entropy, entropy? It is Mad Lightning. Fire a lightning bolt that, if it hits an enemy, destructible, or wall, will emit a number of additional lightning bolts in random directions, can chain infinitely. Walls only cause bonus lightning on the initial strike. I'm going to put away Droplet. I have no use for it. This is going to be exciting. I have no idea if that's going to be good or not, but I hope it is. Also, I need to actually remember to start making the combos. Unfortunately, I've been a little bit less vigilant about making specific combos for people, so we've got water runes. So, water, mind, light. Kind of need those. We got speed, mind. Oh, water, water, shock. Okay, the next shock we get, assuming that this crazy shock spell of mine is not nearly as insane as I think it is, then I will go for a water, water, shock. And it's kind of hard to tell. Looks like it's very short range. I'm trying to... Okay, so that is... It's a weirdly situational spell. I like it, but I probably won't put any more shock runes into it. Uh-oh. The one problem with our build right now is we have no adequate way of handling enemies close to us, which is a concern. Option A, as soon as we beat the first boss, go with some kind of prismatic devil or flame devil. Very tempting, because this little chainy lightning thing... Oh, whoops. That was not the spell I wanted to use, but at the same time, it's the spell we ended up using anyway. Now, I do have to say that chainy lightning thing is effectively amazing at... Okay, let's just... There we go. It's effectively amazing at wiping out large groups of bats, rats, and all assorted types of clustered enemies. So it's effectively one of the most powerful spells in the game, but only against certain types of enemies. So, you know, bit of a trade-off. I will say I'm going to hold on to it for a while at least. Well, there's also that. But, honestly, I guess it's one of those where it's like Supernova kind of fulfills the role in a generally better way. I'm a little bit concerned about all these little necroskeletons. Trying to hit them with lightning, because I guess the other problem is it's got a long-ish cooldown. Wait, I'm not using Pressure Blast. Go figure. I was wondering why everything was not dying nearly as fast. That's because I was using one singular spell. It was a good showcase for how the spell works, but at the same time, I did get hit a number of times for it. At least, pretty much no matter what, if I get if I get to pick up another health pack, we're going to be full health. So we got that going for us. It's just a matter of not dying to anything. So we do have a pair of speed runes. Well, we do have a couple. Entropy Speed Dark is one of the combos that has been requested. So let's just... Oh, rats. There we go. Oh, chain endless sleep, please and thank you. Gives me a number of hearts. Let's murder the hermit. There you go. Hermit is dead. All we have left, fire and earth mages. So honestly, I really like the chain lightning, whatever you want to call it. It's very unique. Unfortunately, the fact that the range is so just incredibly low, it ends up being a risky spell. I think the best situation is that would be an amazing melee run spell, but it's kind of awful for us right now. I'm going to continue pining for some level of... some level of range spell for us to use as our secondary starting spell. Hey, there's the boss. Got burnt by this previously, but let's try it. Okay, who are we fighting? Nimbarus. That's kind of both a good and a bad thing. Probably should have picked up the health while I was here. Or while I was going in. I guess I was just thinking, I'm mostly full health. We got that going for us. So the thing about Nimbarus is we do a fair amount of damage, and we've got the crazy shock spell. So at the very least, we're going to have like crazy cooldown reduction. So when it comes down to it, I can use Supernova pretty much whenever I want. If I want, because all of these Pushmons give me the little golden hearts. There's a great time for it. Let's just get that cooldown nice and reduced. Seriously, it's like an infinite cooldown reduction. Unfortunately, it's effectively useless against Nimbarus. Supernova is, because, let's be honest here, there are no spells that can hit Nimbarus. Watch out for the red stuff. Well, at the very least, we get more Supernovas. Wow, I really need to put more light runes into that. Because if I can get the maximum... Oh, and I should also, you know, of course, put more... I should put more... Jeez, that's an insane amount of hearts. Okay, so... Note to self, put more light runes and earth runes into Supernova. It makes it stupid. And I like that. I really wish there was a healing spell in this game. That'd be convenient. Oh well, not the end of the world. Okay, this is a good time for it. Let's just clear the field. And again, the nice thing is we get all sorts of these little, you know, hardy type things every time we use Supernova. Does it? And I mean, if I was obsessive about collecting them all, I could actually, you know, constantly be Supernovaing. But that seems stupid. Or at least, I should spend most of my time fighting the boss. Like so. Let's take these out. He's starting to do that really hard-hitting lightning move that I don't like. Luckily, Nimbarus himself barely does damage. Like, we're taking an amount just as a result of these things. But at the end, he's going down hard. Ow. Okay, that is the one problem. Let's just nuke the entire stage. Interestingly enough, not... Ow. Oh, the red clouds move. I do not remember that. Note to self, Pushmon kind of suck. So, I guess density would be a really solid type of thing. Ow. Ooh. That actually ends up being really bad. Those red clouds are horribly organized. Let's see if I can wipe out a number of his Pushmons. Unfortunately, wow, we might actually die here. I guess I got overconfident. I'm going to just try and nuke him out a little bit. And then let's back off, pick up a bunch of golden hearts, and be careful. Because if I get pushed around right now, we're probably going to die. Okay, there we go. We got another Supernova. Clear the stage. Come on, kill him before he lightnings us to death. Okay. Wow, that was close. Ugh. Note to self. If fighting Nimbarus, use... okay. That's okay. God, these are all worthless. I guess I'll go with Primal Mastery. That's a lot of stuff. I'm never going to be able to find the hearts in this level. Oh, there they are. Okay, luckily we've got Double Doctor, so it does put us in the range of we're not going to die yet. Let's quickly rub our eyes. Remember that Nimbarus is not a pushover, despite my initial assumptions. Okay, so can I make anything? Water, shock? Nope. Fire, entropy, dark? Nope. Air mine speed. Air mine speed. Yeah, I can make that one. So, request number 1. Yes, I should be putting the air and the mine runes into pressure blast, but at the same time, I would actually like to learn new things. Wait, that's just wind aura. Well, okay. So, first and foremost, I feel dumb. But, that did not actually use our triple combiner, so what I'm going to do is, seeing as we're not using water entropy, I'm just going to have to do it. Rain. Makes rain fall near the caster for a short time, damaging enemies. Wow, that's actually really good. Number of... Wow. I'm actually going to put that over wind aura. Keep that around. I can see rain being really effective. So what we're going to do is actually switch out those two. And rain might be exactly what this build needs. We'll see how it turns out. But it could be the close-up type spell that we need to protect us against a lot of the scarier types of enemies. Okay, so this is going to be a bit of a problem. Luckily, we do have Supernova. Next up, we have Rain. How much damage does it do? Not much. Looks like it actually barely does any. This does not surprise me much. Now, we do have a bat, which is a problem. I guess I should just keep with the Rain. And the running. Yeah. The one problem with this build is we, you know, quite basically do not have any level of adequate close range attacks. The Shocky spell is cool, but it fires too slowly. Luckily, we can just continually rain on things, so we do have that going for us. It does damage. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to... Oh, I already used the water. And the triple. Whatever. Okay, so we can do impromptu armor. We can do damage dampening. We can go with toughen. I'm going to go with toughen, because honestly, all of these are worthless. But I'm going to go with toughen. And rain, as far as I can tell, does it actually tell me how much damage rain does? It says 784, but that's over the course of how many droplets? Yeah, so each one does less than 1 point of damage, which isn't bad, necessarily. Does it... Actually, each raindrop does 2 damage. Wow, that's actually really effective. If I put a bunch of water runes into that, that could get really good. Also, if I use mindlessness. Let's just use that, combined with all of our other stuff. Okay, so we got a bunch of hatchet zombies, which is, you know, inherently terrifying. Let's just actually keep our face close to them. And use the nice fancy bard stun ability. Where the crap are the hatchet zombies? I hate them. They're like the worst of all of the enemies. Like, maybe Chaos Knights are technically worse in my mind. Maybe the Fireborn Voidling. But as far as like a basic enemy that you don't think you should worry about, those hatchet zombies, pretty high up there. So yeah, what do we need this build? We actually need something close range. We need something long range, and between all of them, it doesn't end up being a very happy mix. At the very least, we have hearts. Like, I'm very glad I have triple doctor at this point, because, well, we're full health. And that does definitely make things easier. We do have rain, which helps, but the problem is rain, it's inconsistent damage. It's kind of a consistent AoE around me, which is cool. It's got some interesting applications that I'm kind of interested in using in a dwarven build, but it doesn't have a very good place in what we're doing right now, which is a shame, but not the end of the world. Let's just kind of keep nuking these guys. There we go. Earth. At the very least, we could actually go with quad supernova. That would be dumb as bricks, but we could do it. A lot of mind runes too. So I'm just going to... I'm tempted to put them into pressure blast, but it barely makes much of a dent. So I'm actually just going to throw them in mindlessness, even though technically I'm using mindlessness for other things. And could do minimum range on supernova. I think I'm going to keep it. Minimum range doesn't make that much of a difference. Like, I think it's only 0.2. So might be best to keep it. It might be best to keep that for other types of spells. Okay. That was probably poorly timed, but whatever, I'll just keep it the rain. And honestly, that shock spell, again, it's an interesting one. Doesn't fit on this build well, but it does have some really insane uses. Like, I can almost imagine a dwarven build. It would have to get up to pentashot. Like, you'd have to get far to do it. No, we don't. Oh, wait, we're not going to go fight the boss. We already killed it. I actually had a freak out moment there. I was like, no, 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 we're not full health. And then I realized I'm dumb. But anyway, I'm thinking about it, and uh-oh. Shit. Hatchet zombies plus a wind hunter. This is bad. This is real bad. Okay, so what we're going to do is just nuke them to death. And there we go. We've got health. Should actually, between the health runes that we have available, should be able to get back up to full health. But, yeah. Pressure Blast. I thought Pressure Blast, the way it worked was enemies would take strike-through damage. Not actually the case. Let's just let the infinite lightning do its magic. Okay. No. What it does instead is it just explodes at whatever time you set for it. So it makes it a very good spell if you're willing to have the control. But if you're not having any control of it, then it ends up being kind of worthless. Which is a shame. Or not worthless, it's actually an incredibly powerful spell compared to a lot of them. It does great AoE. But if you don't have a close-up clearer type spell, you end up having some serious problems. So, we've got Shock, we've got a fair amount of health. Where is it? I think between the two other rooms, we're going to have enough health pickups unless they have the fake cooldown-y type hearts, at which point I've been lied to and am upset. Please have normal hearts for me. Beautiful. And I know there's definitely a real heart down low. So we're going to be going on to level 4, full health at the very least, which I am happy about. But our build, maybe a little bit less so. This isn't even one of those where I'm going to call it stupid. It's a slightly incompatible build that needs retuning, but I currently don't have the rune drop chance to retune it, and honestly, it'll probably be left for the next run. So let's go down. I'm going to go with cooldown reduction, just because that makes the most amount of sense, considering, you know, that makes a huge dent in Supernova. And I'll see you guys on the next part of this run, which may work out well, may not. No idea. Hoping we make it far. And we get a heart right off the bat. Unfortunately, it slowly is sinking towards the heart of that damage area, which kind of sucks. Freaking damage areas.